Engvall continues to be a Leaf. Pierre Engvall signs a 1-year, $2.25 million contract, narrowly avoiding the deadline to file for salary arbitration, which, for my health, is great. One of the things I never want to go through again is the summer of Mitch. Listen, he's amazing. He had an amazing season last year. He's going to have another amazing season this year. He's an amazing player. But that continual cycle of, are we there yet? When it came to the contract got exhausting. As we talked about in recent videos on this channel, the Leafs have work to do, and this is one less thing that they got to do. Just ticking boxes. It's nice. And by the way, the NHL season might be over, but the summer's piping hot with Canadian football, tennis, PGA, F1, and the Blue Jays are, well, they're going to the All-Star game, some of them. Playoffs would be nice too. But yeah. All the action starts at Sports Interaction, Canada's sportsbook. Before the game, live in play are one of our many prop bets. Doing it right since 1997, Sports Interaction makes it easy to deposit, play, and cash out. Join now and see all sports betting has to offer. Head to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. That's sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. But it's 19 plus. Please play responsibly. Now let's get back to the task at hand, which is the Toronto Maple Leafs re-sign the most long-necked player they've ever had. And the world's most talented skating giraffe remains a Toronto Maple Leaf for at least one more year, $2.25 million. He gets $1 million raise, which most of us have not gotten. Fascinating story, Pierre Engvall. Could not have entered the National Hockey League under more contentious circumstances, because his NHL debut, very exciting. The Toronto Maple Leafs taking on the Vegas Golden Knights. You might remember that as the game where Nick Batin got robbed by Marc-Andre Fleury in one of the most iconic photos of Marc-Andre Fleury's career. Ilya Mikheyev behind the net like, ah! And that, of course, was Mike Babcock's last game before being fired. And I gotta imagine that's rare company. How many players in the NHL can say their first game in the National Hockey League ended up being the game that got a coach fired? But then in his very next game against the Arizona Coyotes, the first game under Sheldon Keefe, the man who Pierre Engvall won a Calder Cup with in 2018 with the Toronto Marlies, he scores his first career NHL goal shorthanded and falls down while celebrating. Then he went 11 straight without scoring. Then he went through a 6-game stretch where he had a goal every second game, so 3 goals. Then he scored goals in 3 straight games against the Jets, the Islanders, and the Oilers, and it looked like Engvall would never not score again. Then some strange things happened. Number 1, he got a 2-year extension at $1.25 million per season. Now that wasn't the strange thing. Basically signs a 2-year extension right at the threshold for what you can bury in the minors if it doesn't work out. That's a pretty good deal. Except shortly after that deal, he went through a 26-game stretch where he only scored 1 goal, and that goal was against David Ayres. And actually, it was the goal that gave David Ayres the win in that game against Carolina. Pretty cool. Also, the reason that it was only a 26-game sample is because that season was cut off because of COVID. So he hasn't exactly had the easiest start to his career. It's been a bit of a struggle. In the Canadian division where everyone scored, he had just 7 goals and 15 points in 42 games in his sophomore season. And then at times this season, especially early on, he wasn't getting into the lineup every night with the Leafs, and all of a sudden this $1.25 million cap hit, which really isn't much, was an albatross on a team that couldn't afford the luxury of a $1 million plus fourth liner. Not even fourth liner, a 13th or 14th forward. But then something amazing happened. He got into the lineup and he played pretty well. And he continued to play pretty well. And he improved. And he started hitting his stride. And all of a sudden, this natural talent, this dude who flies, his teammates call him Biscuit because he flies like Seabiscuit. And, I mean, Seabiscuit wasn't a giraffe. He's got this incredibly long stick. He's got a little bit of skill. He's got a little bit of snarl. 6'5", 215 pounds, can play center. He can play wing. He can play up in the lineup, down in the lineup, power play, and penalty kill. Sign me up for all of that. In particular, his little duo with David Kampf on the third line, but often on the penalty kill. Oh yeah, that worked. And Engvall, who recently turned 26, put up 15 goals, 20 assists for 35 points in 78 games. Some of his bad habits went away, fewer defensive gaffes and missed assignments, and especially something that he did particularly poorly at the beginning of the season and earlier in his career, he took way too many penalties. Now, with an increased role on the team and increased responsibilities with Ilya Mikheyev now playing with the Vancouver Canucks, Engvall can't be in the box. And that third line is looking like it's probably going to be Engvall, Kampf, and Calle Järnkrok. But we've learned in recent years, don't assume with the Toronto Maple Leafs in their lineup decisions. Heck, right now, okay, top line spot, top line left wing. Who is it? That's right, it's Michael Bunting. Who's number 2? I think it might end up being Nick Robertson, but right now, who is the Leafs' second best left winger right now? I mean, the easy answer is Alexander Kerfoot. Oh, wait! The Leafs are already $1.5 million over the cap. They still need to re-sign Rasmus Sandin, and Kerfoot's probably getting traded. So assuming Kerfoot gets traded, and assuming it's probably for a prospect or a pick, something that's not going to help the roster immediately because the Leafs literally just need to shed cap, Engvall could get that second line spot with Tavares and Nylander. But I think the Leafs will figure that out. I kind of think Nick Robertson's going to end up there because I think that's the best fit for Engvall there on the third line. But what do you think? Let me know in the comment box down below. Because I like the signing. It's just 1 year. Everyone, all of Leafs Nation said the same joke. Well, now we can spend the next 12 months talking about how he's going to get 5 times 5 at the hands of the Edmonton Oilers, who would never tamper. It'd be pretty hard for this deal to be bad. He got better as the season went on. I liked him in the playoffs, but he does need to get better because, frankly, the Leafs need some special performances from their depth guys. All the best teams get them. They need it. One last thing before we go. We recorded 5 podcasts last week. We usually only do 3. We did a special standalone episode talking about the Matt Murray trade because that was big Leafs news. The other one that we recorded on Friday was released today, just a few hours before I shot this video. It's a special standalone podcast. It's only about half an hour with TSN's Rick Westhead. We've had him on the show before. We've never gotten to meet him, and we had him on in person in the SDPN studios, and he talked about the Hockey Canada scandal. I'm not going to lie to you. Really heavy content, really heavy stuff. Trigger warning, definitely. Viewer discretion is advised, definitely. But you're going to want to check it out because it's really important. And there have been updates to the story. So I'll link to that video and also the updates to the story. There was a report. Chris Fries, I think, was the name of the journalist in the Globe and Mail, and also Rick himself had an update to the story on tsn.ca. Sometimes with stories that are that heavy and evolving all the time and there's this many things to follow, sometimes it can be intimidating, and maybe you had some questions you were afraid to ask. I think, without you even asking them, Rick answers them all. So if you've been confused about that scandal or you've wanted to learn more, definitely check that out, SDPN YouTube channel, or on Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts. We should have it there. So that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. Once again, the SDPN YouTube channel, or check us out on Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts. It's a very important episode.